Okay, this is just a short introductory video on the topic of Reiki. Now, Reiki is traditionally a hands-on healing technique. There's also an aspect of it where you can send distant healing as well. It's passed on from teacher to student, and it's originally based in Japanese Buddhism. It was developed by Mikomi Usui at the beginning of the 20th century, and it's passed into the West and been adapted from kind of a weekly empowerment into a 3 or 4 or more level process of training. Now, the way that I'm doing this, I'm calling what I do Biochemical Reiki. What I'm doing is weekly and monthly empowerments. So it's going to be an ongoing process over a period of 2 years. So it's a different way of doing it in the West to the way that it's been done over the last few years. I'm certainly not going to be doing level 1 and 2 in a weekend, I know that much. It's going to be 12 months for level 1, 12 months for level 2, maybe 6 months for level 3 if I decide to structure it that way. But at the end of that, you'll be, that's actually quite a good way of doing it, because then it takes me right into my Saturn cycle. So I might do it that way. So it's level 1 is basic personal development. It's about your own personal healing. Level 2 is about your own personal healing with some practice, teaching practice as well, and healing for other people in the group, and just developing skills with language and skills with listening, and the skills you need to be a healer, the type of mindset that you need to be a good long-term healer for yourself and other people. And the final part is more teaching practice, and then at the end of that, maybe a 2-year or a 2.5-year process, you'll get a certificate that says that you're qualified to teach. I might make it specific geographical areas, and that way I can make sure that there's enough people in the area for everybody. Obviously, you'll be able to teach online as well, so it's not limited to that geographical area, but I might allocate a territory to you when you're finished. So first come, first served with these. It's very much a process in development, so things could change slightly. I'm going to try and keep it as consistent as I can, but I reserve the right to change things as I go along and find out what works for the group. I'm looking for 25 people to help me develop this process and to help me to develop the teaching process and the biochemical information that I need to be able to put this all together. So if you're interested, pass this video on to somebody that you know who might be interested. I'm based in the UK, but I'm teaching this globally over Google Hangouts. So anybody basically who's interested and is prepared to pay the fee that I'm charging, I'm interested in talking to. I'm not going to take everybody on. It will really depend on how I decide to balance the group. There might be, out of a group of 25, there might be 12 people who are really looking for personal development and healing, and 12 people who might be looking to teach. So I want to structure it so that everybody gets something out of every session. So it's going to be a combination of those two things, but spread over 2 years or 2.5 years. And it'll be weekly, and there'll be monthly sessions as well. So the empowerments will be weekly. The biochemistry is probably going to be monthly, because it's a little bit more intellectual. It's more of a heady type of thing. You need to understand the language and understand the principles. It takes a bit of time to get used to it. Okay, so that's the introduction, and I look forward to seeing you at the site, which is biochemicalreiki.com.